This episode is brought to you by Heyday. Feeling stressed? Take a moment for yourself with Heyday. Stroll through rows of golden wheat, tend to cute barnyard animals, and discover the joys of a digital farm retreat. You don't have to hop in a car or catch a plane. Escape to the farm at the tap of a finger. With Heyday, you're not just tending to a farm, you're tending to yourself. Heyday. Search Heyday, that's Hay space DAY, in your favorite app store. Heyday is a free-to-play mobile game and offers optional in-app purchases and random rewards.
At GMC, ignorance is the furthest thing from bliss. Bliss is research, testing the testing, until it results in not just one truck, but a whole lineup. The 2025 GMC Sierra lineup, featuring the Sierra 1500 Heavy Duty and EV. Because true bliss is removing every shadow from every doubt. We are professional grade. Visit gmc.com to learn more.
This is Optimal Work Daily, product launch lessons from Adventure Capital by Chris Guillebeau of chrisguillebeau.com. After producing a new project, I try to circle back and share a few of the lessons learned. Last week, we had a small beta launch for Adventure Capital, a new business course. So it's time for another breakdown. It's been a long time since I've released a paid product of any kind, and there's nothing for sale in this post. If you're creating offers of your own, or if you're just curious how things went with the beta launch last week, I hope the lessons are helpful. Let's kick off the debrief. 1. Pricing is always relative. I've learned this lesson over and over from almost everything I've ever offered for sale. Back when I was selling $20 ebooks that helped people save $500 on international plane tickets, some people, those who didn't buy it, would complain that it was too expensive. Last week, I received a range of comments on the introductory monthly pricing for the new course, which we started at $150. As usual, some found it too expensive, while others said it was underpriced. That's no surprise, but I found it amusing when these two emails arrived back-to-back in the same 2 minutes. Email number 1. This price is outrageous. How could you possibly expect people on a budget to pay this much money for marketing lessons? Email number 2. I was worried this was going to be much more expensive. This is a steal. I signed up right away and have already told my friends. First lesson. No matter your price, some people will always say it costs too much, and others will say it should cost more. You can't be swayed by either group. You should be swayed by data and actual customer response. Perceived value is determined by the customer, not by the critics, and sometimes not even by you. 2. Having things in order greatly reduces stress. I mentioned in another post that we planned to launch the course 2 weeks earlier, but made the last-minute decision to defer. This decision sprung from my genius developer's advice to continue to tweak prior to release. Quote, "Part of me thinks this might be a great opportunity to experience a new type of launch where everything is finished more than 24 hours before people flood in. The truth is that we've been working on this for so long, another couple weeks seems like a small trade-off compared to what we'd learned from the feeling of a less stressful launch." End quote. We adopted this mantra, the new kind of launch where everything is ready, and we're much better off for it. Launch day itself was somewhat relaxing. As usual, I sat in a chair and didn't move for the better part of 7 hours, replying to support questions and monitoring the launch, but remarkably, nothing major broke down. Success. 3. Good partners make all the difference. Speaking of my genius developer, that would be Nikki Hajal. On this project, I also worked with Celie Pines, a fabulous designer who is also an entrepreneur, profiled on AONC a long time ago and also in the $100 startup. Both Nikki and Celie are on our WDS action team, with Celie leading a complete brand design this year, and Nikki in charge of everything for our mobile app that connects attendees, as well as the back-end systems. Nikki, Celie, and I used an online interface called Checklist to keep track of tasks. What a concept! Working with Nikki and Celie helped me raise my own game. I had the feeling that if I didn't complete something on time, I'd be letting them down. This might sound negative, but for me it was actually highly positive. I wanted to get this project out, and I had great people working on it. We all had to deliver. 4. Everyone wants mobile. I was surprised by this, and when I said on Twitter that I was surprised, some people said they were surprised that I was surprised. Whoa, so meta. What I meant was that I didn't expect so many people to access the sales site and the member site using smartphones. By far the biggest feedback we received is that mobile versions of websites, any website, no exceptions, are now expected by users. It's no longer optional to have mobile come second, and I'm now planning to go back to older versions of projects to see if we can make them more accessible too. Lesson? No matter what you're making, make it mobile friendly. 5. Go small. Sometimes. In the past, we've taken in several thousand new signups in a short period of time, but always for projects that are much lower cost. For our beta last week, we took less than 200 members, and this was a good decision. The whole point of this new course is to serve a higher level need. With a relatively higher price point, we're able to serve a smaller group of people and still produce a sustainable project. Going forward, we'll grow the project from within, not by making a big splash for lots of people who probably aren't the best fit for it. You just listened to the post titled Product Launch Lessons from Adventure Capital by Chris Guillebeau of chrisguillebeau.com.
Eczema isn't always obvious, but it's real. And so is the relief from Ebglyss. After an initial dosing phase of 16 weeks, about 4 in 10 people taking Ebglyss achieved itch relief and clear or almost clear skin. And most of those people maintain skin that's still more clear at 1 year with monthly dosing.
Ebglyss, lebrikizumab LBKZ, a 250 milligram per 2 milliliter injection, is a prescription medicine used to treat adults and children 12 years of age and older who weigh at least 88 pounds or 40 kilograms with moderate to severe eczema, also called atopic dermatitis, that is not well controlled with prescription therapies used on the skin or topicals, or who cannot use topical therapies. Ebglyss can be used with or without topical corticosteroids. Don't use if you're allergic to Ebglyss. Allergic reactions can occur that can be severe. Eye problems can occur. Tell your doctor if you have new or worsening eye problems. You should not receive a live vaccine when treated with Ebglyss. Before starting Ebglyss, tell your doctor if you have a parasitic infection.
Searching for real relief? Ask your doctor about Ebglyss and visit ebglyss.lilly.com or call 1-800-LILY-RX or 1-800-545-5979.
This episode is brought to you by State Farm. Knowing you could be saving money for the things you really want is a great feeling. Talk to a State Farm agent today to learn how you can choose to bundle and save with the Personal Price Plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Prices are based on rating plans that vary by state. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability, amount of discounts and savings, and eligibility vary by state.
And let me give a big thanks to Chris, who is a New York Times bestselling author and a modern-day explorer. During a lifetime of self-employment that included a 4-year commitment as a volunteer executive in West Africa, he visited every country in the world, that's 193 in total, before his 35th birthday, a huge feat. His first book, The Art of Nonconformity, has been translated into more than 30 languages, and his second book, The $100 Startup, was a New York Times and Wall Street Journal bestseller, selling more than 700,000 copies worldwide. And his newest book, The Money Tree, is all about finding the fortune in your own backyard. You can also check out his daily podcast, which is called Side Hustle School, and that's downloaded more than 2 million times a month. So come by chrisguillebeau.com for a lot more. And I think that's going to do it for me today. I thank you, as always, for being here with me and listening all the way through to the end, and for being a subscriber. So have a great rest of your day and start to your weekend, and I'll see you back here tomorrow, where your optimal life awaits.